I'm afraid the world economy is not yet really recovering. We see some first symptoms of improvement in the US, where the economy is showing some growth in the meantime, and it's expected to continue that growth in the coming period. But looking at Europe, I'm afraid that overall in Europe the economic situation is not improving. Of course, Germany is still doing pretty okay, but the rest of Europe is still struggling, and it doesn't look like that will improve enormously in the coming couple of years. Looking at Asia, we are all aware of the developments in China, where the growth is still relatively okay with about 7%, but with big concerns with regard to the financial stability of their banks. And looking at the other important economy in Asia, India is really struggling with a decreasing value of the rupee and taking a number of decisions where they think that it will help to improve the situation in their country, where I think it's not going to help. I think there is a certain shift going on, that ultimately we will have 3 economic blocs in the world: Europe, the Americas, especially North America, and China. It's very important for any investors into a country that there is political stability and that there is a government that is reliable in introducing laws, regulations that give certainty to companies that their investments will be protected, that there is a system that is working well, that encourages investments, that facilitates a healthy development of their economic growth in such a country, which for sure will result in increased foreign direct investments in many African countries, especially as there is an interesting combination of national resources in quite a lot of countries, as well as agricultural production, which is interesting for quite a lot of larger economies as well. And there is a growing middle class, and that all together can make it very interesting for foreign investors to invest much more in the African continent. When it comes to the talents needed to make sure that those investments will become successful, it is important to bring in best practices, talented, experienced people from abroad, in order to make sure that, combined with all the local knowledge, the local experience, that it will become a win-win situation. And in that way, I think there is a wonderful opportunity for Mauritius to play an important role in that development, especially as your country has very well educated people, experienced people. And talking about our BDO firm in Mauritius, it's obvious that this firm has built a very strong and successful position in this market. In the meantime, has expanded its presence in a number of East African countries in a very successful way, where they show successfully how this can be done by using the talents, the best practices, the experienced people from here, combine that with local partners and staff in order to make available the best support for clients in order to make sure that their investments will be run successfully.